Check it out. I have a scary story. Let's get into it. When my daughter started pointing at the corner of her room, I assumed it was imagination. She was four. 4-year-olds invent friends, monsters, entire worlds out of nothing. That's what every parenting book says. What they don't tell you is what to do when your child refuses to sleep because something won't stop watching her. It began quietly every night around the same time, just after I tucked her in. She would sit up in bed and stare past me, not at me, through me. "Eddie," she said one night, "the man is back." "What man?" I asked, forcing calm. She pointed. The corner of the room was empty, beige walls, a small bookshelf, nothing else. "He doesn't like when the light is off," she said. That was the first thing that bothered me. I hadn't mentioned the light. At first she described him vaguely. A man, tall, quiet, always standing in the same corner. He didn't speak, he didn't move, he just stood there watching. I told her it was shadows, streetlight glare. Her mind filling in gaps. She shook her head. "No," she said, "he's darker than the dark." Things escalated after the third week. She stopped sleeping. When she did fall asleep, she screamed herself awake, gasping, clawing at her blankets, refusing to look toward the corner. One night I slept on the floor beside her bed. Around 2:40 a.m., she bolted upright. "He's closer," she whispered. I turned on the lamp. The corner was empty, but the air felt wrong, thick like the room was holding its breath. I laughed nervously and told her she was safe. She didn't look convinced. Then she said something I still can't explain. "He says you can't see him," she murmured. "Not yet." I asked her what she meant. She wouldn't answer. The first physical sign came a few days later. Scratches. Thin, shallow lines appeared on the wall in the corner she pointed to. 3 vertical marks about shoulder height. I assumed furniture, a toy, anything. But I noticed something else. The scratches weren't there in the morning. They appeared overnight. I installed a camera. I didn't tell my daughter. That night I sat in the living room watching the live feed on my phone. Nothing happened for hours. Then at 3:12 a.m., the image glitched, just for a second. When it stabilized, my daughter was sitting up in the bed, staring at the corner, and something else was there. Not a clear figure, not a face, just a tall, darker shape where the corner should have been, like the shadows had thickened and learned how to stand. The camera froze, then shut off. The next morning, my daughter wouldn't look at me. "He's mad," she said quietly. "Why?" I asked. "You watched," she replied. Moved her into my room that night. She slept peacefully for the first time in weeks. I didn't. At 3:12 a.m., I woke up with the overwhelming sense that I was being stared at. The corner of my bedroom was darker than the rest of the room, too dark. I didn't move. I didn't breathe. And then I felt it, a pressure, like someone leaning forward, inspecting me. I turned on the lamp. Nothing was there. But the corner stayed dark longer than it should have. The next day, my daughter asked when she could go back to her room. I told her not yet. She frowned. "He won't like that," she said. That night I woke up to her voice whispering, "Daddy," she said. I opened my eyes. She was standing beside my bed. Her face was blank. "He says it's time for you to see him." The corner of the room was no longer empty. I don't remember screaming. I remember the smell, old dust, rot, something burned. I remember the sense that the thing in the corner wasn't new. It had been there a long time, waiting for someone who could finally see it. We moved out the next week. I never told anyone why. My daughter stopped talking about the man. Sometimes when I check on her at night, she's awake, staring into a corner. And even though she doesn't point anymore, she's always makes sure the light stays on. I like that one. Of course, sort of sounds like me. Follow to hear me read a story every night. Thank you.